Good news and bad news on Garage 419 today, guys. We got the good news is actually the opposite of what you'd expect. So we've got these new supercars coming out, right? You got the Lamborghini LP670 SV.
Absolutely, the new Ferrari 599 FXX version.
Yeah, the FXX track only. And then we've got the new Mercedes AMG SLS Gullwing. I don't even know if I got the order of those right.
Doesn't matter, but they're all awesome.
And we can't afford any of them. So that's the bad news. The good news is there are a bunch of supercars out there that we can afford. They may be a little older and have some miles on them, but we can drive them home today.
We and the disgraced hedge fund managers who couldn't afford the other ones. So
right, so they're unloading their old cars, and we can get them basement cheap, and that's what we're talking about today on Garage 419. Bargain basement supercars. Stick around. Back one more time on the program today, Mike Spinelli, high five.
Matt Farah.
High five.
What's
today,
up?
Well, we got a good show because today we're going to tell these people out there what they can buy for like really, really cheap.
Right.
Okay.
I mean, we're talking supercars.
Supercars. We're talking the highest level of performance in used automobiles right now.
Right.
And we're starting at under 50 grand.
Right,
okay.
Which is just about, you know, if you're downsizing from your $400,000 or $500,000 supercar.
Right, of course. We're going to downsize.
The hedge fund didn't, broke apart, not doing so well.
Right, but my 10 shares of Coca-Cola are doing great.
There you go.
So here's what we're going to do. We're going to start at 50 grand and work our way down all the way to under 10,000 bucks.
Let's do it.
So at 50 grand, these are prices in the completed listings section of eBay. So what these cars are actually selling for, okay? So you get the Ferrari 355. You get the Dodge Viper Coupe, the C6 Corvette Z06, Porsche 911 Turbo, X51, and of course the Aston Martin DB7. All these cars are available for under $50,000.
Under 50 grand, and so that's a great list. We'll start up at the top.
Well, the 355, yeah. I mean the 355,
car.
The last of the old school Ferraris.
Right.
You got a transverse mounted mid-engine V8, 375 horsepower. Originally, this car was $120,000.
Wow. And 120. That's funny because you say 120,000.
But that was in like '95.
Yeah, but that was right now. 120,000 is like
it's
you're
not even
Porsche,
that much.
Not even the best 911.
Right, but I mean, this is a car that'll do 0 to 60 in under 5 seconds. It'll go 180 miles an hour. It'll sound like a Banshee. It looks great. I mean, it is among the most recognizable of Ferrari shapes.
Yeah, and like the transitional car between the old 348s and the new aluminum 360.
Right. It's the last of the old world.
The last of the old world Ferrari, but with a lot of technologies that went into the new one.
Right. And speaking of last of the old world, actually, the Aston Martin DB7. You can either call it last of the old or first of the new.
Yeah.
Because it was the transition period when Ford was taking over.
Right.
So they had, you could either get a supercharged 6 or a 12 in there.
Does the $50,000 include a valve job? Or
I don't, no, this is maintenance free.
So this is like you buy $50,000 and then you spend another $50,000 a year.
But the DB7 is, well, the Ferrari, you can say the same thing.
That's true.
The DB7 is a stunningly beautiful car.
It's a nice car.
You can get it with a 12-cylinder. There's the DB7 Vantage has a 12-cylinder.
Okay.
Yeah, and I mean, and it's in a timeless design. It still looks great 10 years later. And the good news is, at 40-something grand, it's probably not going to depreciate too much more than that.
That's true. The depreciation probably already happened. I mean, I will defer my Aston Martin stuff to you because you're Aston.
I'm the Aston guy. And then, of course, you've got the 500 horsepower club, the C6 Z06, and the Vipers. The American stuff, obviously, depreciating ridiculously fast.
Yeah, and both, really good. The Z06 is still a world-class car. I mean, say what you will about it.
That is a supercar.
Yeah,
it's a 200-mile-an-hour car.
It is.
That far from it, anyway.
That gets 27 miles to the gallon when you're loping along on the highway. So, I mean,
and then
if you're into the economy all the way across the board.
Right, the gas savings, too. And then, of course, you've got your Porsche Turbo X51, all-wheel drive,
I just can't
440 horse.
I can't believe those are going for under 50, but I guess
the
that's
996 body style is kind of an unloved body style.
Well, that's interesting. The 993 is
worth
actually worth more in a lot of cases.
We got to move on though. We got the next category under 40,000. So we're talking $30,000 to $40,000.
So if you were the kind of a vice president level and you kind of
mid-level management,
you didn't get that bonus this year.
Yeah, the mid-level management car.
Okay.
So you wanted a brand new Porsche Turbo, but instead you've got to settle for. This is actually a great list. You like this? You got the 0304 Mercedes SL 55.
Wow, it's so funny. The way that AMG cars depreciate is like the biggest insanity ever.
They have the worst depreciation of any cars out there. So that's a 490 horsepower car. You can get one with under 30,000 miles, for under $40,000.
I mean, great cars. Again, you got a maintenance. You know,
yeah. Once you're out of
that's
warranty,
the big enchilada in the room.
Yeah.
You're out of warranty.
When you're out of warranty,
and you got. But I mean, you know.
Here's another one you wouldn't expect: Ferrari Testarossa.
That's so weird to see that in the mid-30s.
The iconic 80s automobile.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you've got your Shelby GT500s, the newest ones, which were about 45 new and are down in the low 30s now.
And see, that's interesting because they were holding their value really well until just recently. I mean, I guess until the boom.
Yeah, until they started discounting new ones, and now you can't. And then, of course, this one's an oddball, your Di Tommaso Pantera.
Oh, my favorite.
Which bridges the gap between Italian exotic and muscle cars, and you can get a really good one for about $35.
And really easy. Talk about maintenance. I mean, it's a 351 Cleveland, right?
Yeah, it's a Ford V8, real easy to swap out parts.
You get parts, on the
worst
corner.
Comes to worst.
Any corner, they're selling parts.
Worst comes to worst, you could do a whole motor swap for under $10,000 in that car.
Exactly.
How about this? Under $30,000.
All right, now you're just teasing. What's
20
going
to
on?
$30,000. You can get a Ferrari 348, a Porsche Cayman S, or an Acura NSX mid-90s for under $30,000.
See, I'm back at 348 because I love the 348. Even though it doesn't have a lot of
this
stuff, it's a lower
the
power.
wackest of Ferraris.
It is not the wackest of Ferrari.
It is the wackest.
It's not a Mondial.
It doesn't.
The Mondial is the wackest.
The Mondial is the wackest of Ferraris, but it doesn't handle. It doesn't go anywhere, and it falls apart.
If by handling you mean the back flips,
I mean, when you turn the wheel, it goes
snap. Snap oversteer.
Yeah. But listen, a Cayman S or an Acura NSX, these are real performance cars that you can get for under $30,000. The NSX is timeless.
NSX is timeless. I mean, obviously not the most powerful thing out there.
No, but
really
talk about
tight.
a bulletproof drivetrain.
Yeah.
I was looking on eBay. There were about 50 NSXs on eBay. Half of them had over 120,000 miles on it. They still looked great.
Exactly, and you haul it off to the Acura dealer, any Acura dealer.
It's just a cord motor.
Right.
It's a lightly tuned Honda cord motor, and they'll run for 200,000 miles, no problem.
It's a good deal.
Listen, guys, when we come back, we got the two top categories. We got under 20,000 and under 10,000, and we're going to tell you what cars to buy at those price points for your maximum performance value. Coming up on Garage 419. How many miles you got on this bad boy?
About 5,000.
Yeah.
With like 35.
Oh, cool. So it does get driven.
Yeah, we like to drive.
That's key. Garage419.com. Be there. All right, we are back, guys. Spinelli and I are talking to you today about bargain basement prices in used supercars. And what we're doing is we're on eBay and looking in the completed listings section to find out what used supercars are actually selling for. And we've told you everything from under $50,000, under $30,000. Now we're talking about under $20,000.
Right. Now this is like, if you can't buy a Dodge Caliber,
yeah,
you don't need to.
In terms of cars, $20,000 is nothing. I mean, $20,000 is a Honda Civic Si. It's a base Subaru Impreza. Yeah. I mean, it's base cars.
Any mid-size sedan. It's,
right. Cars that aren't exactly cool.
Right. You don't want a Camry. You want a.
Right. So how about this? We've got BMW E46 M3 01 or 02 for $18,000.
That's surprising. Except that you did show this to me online. So. $18,000. I mean, this is a car that was like 50 plus new.
Yeah, 50 to 60 grand.
Yeah.
You got SMGs, you got sticks, and they're going to have miles on them. I mean, this will be a 70, 80,000 mile car.
Which obviously you got to do your homework with these things.
Yeah, pre-purchase inspections and all that.
Right.
But you can drive home an E46 M3 for under $20,000
instead of a Camry.
How about this? Porsche 1999 996 Carrera. $18,000.
It is $18,000. I mean, the thing is, like, a lot of Porsche fanatics don't love the
Who
996.
cares? For $18,000, you're driving home in a Porsche.
Right, exactly, and it is a pretty decent car.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with it.
Exactly.
These cars, the water-cooled cars, there's nothing wrong with them other than lightly bland styling.
And look, as a first Porsche, maybe
screw it, gut it, make it a track car.
Sure,
or just drive it.
Just drive it.
Daily drive it until it falls apart. For that kind of money, you can get into a Porsche. And hey, look at him! He's in his Porsche. Yeah, for
look
$20,000.
At that guy.
But or a Boxster S, an early 2000s Boxster S.
Right.
Also,
you're not going to get a lot of cred from the Porsche Club,
but it's a great
car. And I like the Boxster S. The mid-engine is nice.
It is. My favorite though, for $10,000 to $20,000, you can get a C5 Z06 Corvette.
Now that's interesting because we actually have one right here.
We do. Wait, first though, let me think.
Okay.
400 horsepower.
400 horsepower.
0 to 60 in 4 seconds flat.
3.9.
180 mile an hour top speed.
Yeah.
1.0 Gs in the skid pad. That is a world-class performance supercar any way you cut it.
Right. I mean, and the
what's yours-
improvements.
what's yours
I mean, this
looking for?
one right here is this actually is an ended bid, an ended auction. It went for the buy it now price was $18,700.
$18,000 for a
Yeah.
50,000-mile Z06
what-
California car.
Exactly. What you're not getting compared to the new one is just basically the chassis platform is
Right.
a little
Listen,
bit more.
as
tight.
a C5 Corvette owner,
Right.
I can tell you it is a rock-solid drivetrain. The parts are cheap. You can drive them hard and have a great time with them.
Right.
They look good. They sound good. They're really fast.
For 18,700.
For 18 grand.
And this one it has 54,000 miles
Yeah.
on it, so not like an overused
Right.
car. So there you go.
All right, guys, our final category of the night, supercars for under $10,000.
Under 10 grand, a little bit of a stretch for a supercar.
It's a bit of a stretch. You're not exactly going to get a supercar
Yeah.
for 10 grand. But what you can get is a great sports car. Maybe it's your first sports car. Maybe it's your first track car.
Sure.
You know, or if you want a bargainy kind of fun weekend car, this is where you want to start looking.
Yeah.
So, and the wife won't kill you if you spend eight
No,
grand on one of these things.
Exactly, unless she'll have to do without the fur coat
Right.
for this. But.
So, first one is the E36 M3. 240 horsepower, inline six, the poster child of neutral handling dynamics.
Where have I heard that?
You said that on our last take. That's where I got that from.
Well done. No, it's cool. I don't have anything else to say about it.
What a dick. No, the M3 was Car and Driver's 10 best. I mean, its entire production run.
Absolutely.
What else can you say about it? And you can get one with 80,000 miles on it for about $8 grand right now.
Sure, and you just have to beat up some high school kids on the way there. But
You
so,
will. You have to. You
whatever.
have to. Yeah. Anyway.
Anyway, there's a lot of competition. No, that's the whole thing. In all these, there's a lot of competition for the $10,000 sports car.
Yeah. So moving right along, you've got the Porsche 968. Not one of the most loved of Porsches.
No, but I mean, I'm not really that familiar with the 968, but I mean,
Well, it was a slightly updated 944.
The 944 is one of my favorites of all time.
Ironically, the 944s are worth more than the 968.
Exactly, because the
Weird.
968s are a little bit heavier, I think.
Yeah, the enthusiast track guy wants a used 944.
Exactly, but if you could find, I mean, obviously a 944 is what you want, but if you could find one nowadays,
if it's a good one,
you got to hunt for one of those. But you'll probably find a 968.
Yeah, so it's front engine, 4-cylinder with an optional turbocharger. You could get a convertible too. And I mean, look, they're not the greatest Porsches ever out there, but if you want a Porsche badge and Porsche styling,
Fair amount of bang for the buck, I suppose, at that level.
for 10 grand, hell yeah. Or you could also go with a B5 Audi S4. That's the 99 to 02 Audi S4 with the twin turbo V6. Those are huge enthusiast cars.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean, obviously it's better if you know what you're doing because you're going to have a car that's about 100,000 miles on it.
And it's going to require some maintenance.
Yeah,
sure.
I mean, maybe you could find one with less mileage, and that would probably be better,
of
especially
course-
with the turbos.
Listen, my favorite car for under $10,000, my favorite sports car you could buy is your base C5 Corvette. 350 horsepower, about 3,000 pounds, a bulletproof drivetrain, looks good, and you've got a huge enthusiast base out there so you're going to have lots of people to help you with your aftermarket and maintenance needs.
Yeah, and pretty easy to take care of.
Yeah,
and it's probably
it's a Chevy.
not going to. Yeah, it's a Chevy.
It's
It's
a
probably not
Chevy.
going to depreciate more than that at this level. I mean, it's like we're already down to 10. I mean, it's 40 new or something.
And if you have no problem buying a 100,000-mile Corvette, you could probably put another 100,000 on it and be ready to go.
Yeah.
So we want to know what you guys think. We want to know. Leave a comment and tell us at what price. What is your value supercar? What do you think is the best value in performance cars at any price point, whether it's 10,000, 20,000, or even 100,000 if you can find.
Yeah, there's a lot of lonely cars out there these days without buyers. So, I mean, there's a lot of deals to be had.
Buy them up, spend your cash, and let us know what you think of the best value in performance cars. Spinelli, high five. I'm Matt Farah, and you've been watching Garage 419. Tune in this Thursday, and we're going to show you something really cool. Promise. I don't know what it is yet, but it's going to be cool.